Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Obali Somutupi, and we're back again on my YouTube channel. I'm glad that you actually did show up, because you know that whenever you come to my YouTube channel, we speak about knowledge. We speak about things that are gonna help you grow and become a better you. Why is it that you should actually like and subscribe to my channel? I believe that it's very important of you to become aware of what it is that you feed yourself with. I started growing and seeing more of myself once I started taking in a lot of YouTube videos, but not only just YouTube videos, especially the ones that I wanted to focus on, because the most important thing is what you focus on grows, which is what brings us to today's topic. We're going to be speaking about what you should focus on if you are a beginner trader. So this is not to filter out a lot of people, but this is actually to help you out understand what path you should take and what it is that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis in order to see yourself get to a specific point where you'd like to see yourself at. And one thing that I love, or one thing that I actually want to share, which makes me excited, is that a lot of people have seen me go from A to B. A lot of people have seen me transform, literally from when I was 19, 20 years old with nothing going on, broke in debts and all those things, to being able to jump the hurdle and making my first million at the age of 22 years old and getting a bit more millions afterwards. So one thing that we're going to do now is that I'm going to let you guys know about the Ultimate Transformation Program that we have going on. I'll leave the link in the description box. It's a very short course, only for $7. You'll be able to get the basics. You'd be able to literally get what it is that you need in order to it's like literally this video, but in detail form, and going too deep into the market. So after just that, then your outcomes should be the transformation that I believe you deserve to have. So yeah, that's actually it. But let's get on to today's topic. So what are the things that you should focus on when you are a beginner trader? We're going to speak of 3 facts. We're going to be speaking about 3 of the points that I actually came up with, and then I want you to go out there, start thinking about these things, and then develop a plan where you're going to start implementing to see the results that you want to see. Let's get on to the first point. Okay, now the very first thing that you should be focusing on is learning and mastering the basics. Learning and mastering the basics. Where is it that I noticed that 4 years later, I've started trading 4 years ago, but 4 years later, still I need most basics that I learned back then. And not only that, but I still fall back to a lot of basics that I went there. Most people would think that when you are deep down in the years, you come up with the holy grail, or the biggest thing that has never been seen before. That's what actually is going to make you money, which is not always the case. The case is that the basics work. The fundamentals are always something that you can always rely on. So if you learn and then you master those things, that's when you'd see yourself progressing a bit more quicker and a bit more faster, because now you've got something solid to actually learn. Now you've got something solid to literally master. And obviously once you do get the basics down, it means that whatever that you learn, whatever that you put yourself, whatever that you bring into you in the near future, whether it's months or years, you have already got the basics. So you're not going to waste more time in the future learning about basics. I forgot the guy's name, but he once actually did mention that one to become a master has to practice over 10,000 hours. And I think that's literally the truth, because 3 years ago, 3 to 2 years ago, I barely slept. When I decided that I'm going full time to trading forex, I was at night, I was literally just looking at charts. Even if I didn't trade, you don't have to trade. You have to just analyze, see the outcomes, see this, play around with the charts. Go into your TradingView platform, learn about, look at other people's ideas. Follow, if you're following, let's say GBP/USD, for in case you follow GBP/USD, you go into TradingView platform, you follow GBP/USD, you see everyone that posts about GBP/USD on the day, then you see what actually they see. You see the long term, the short term, you see what even if different types of strategies, if you're looking into buying, you see with all different types of strategies from other people, what are they seeing. You'll see a lot of people maybe seeing the same thing that you're seeing. You'll also see people not seeing the same thing that you see. You learn from their mistakes, you learn from their wins, you also learn from your mistakes, and then you learn from your wins. So you need to focus on to learning and mastering the basics, spending over 10,000 hours just literally focused on that smaller basics. Instead of you just trying to look at strategy, getting the strategy that doesn't lose at all, but focusing 10,000 hours on literally just the basics will help you be steps ahead of most people, because most people now are here, but they haven't got this yet. So when they fall, they want to fall back to literally zero. But if you're here and your basics are your solid concrete, what's holding you to stand. Obviously, even if you fall, you're gonna fall on a solid foundation that you can easily just go back up and continue pushing your thing. So that's what you should do, guys. The first step is obviously learning and mastering the basics. Let's move over to the second step. So now the second one is experiencing constant growth, and not only that, but also refinement, meaning that you need to experience constant growth on a daily basis. You need to see yourself moving towards a specific direction. It doesn't mean that you need to make $1 a day. No, that can mean like, let's say if you've got goals of learning pips and understanding pips of currencies and even indices, you need to get that done by end of this week. So end of this week, you need to already be done with it. You need to already be done with this specific section for yourself. This way, what it does is that it's going to help you be able to move with a measurable plan, something that you'd be able to measure. But not only that, you'd be able to track your progress a bit more faster. You'd be aware of your progress, where you are currently, how far you still need to go. But not only that, guys, like refinement, what it helps you with is that you'll be able to see what needs to be tweaked. You'll be able to see what you should, minus from your understanding of markets, what you should minus, what you shouldn't take moving forward, and what you should, add into your life, what you should add into your plan, what you should add when you are learning. Meaning that, like, it comes to a time whereby, like, I remember, third year in my trading, I think it was third or second, it came to a point whereby I had to relearn some of the things. And then, like, I had to unlearn some stuff, because some of those things that I learned were knowledge that I actually didn't need, and it's not even going to help me moving forward. So I had to unlearn that, and then I had to open up my mind so I can learn new things. Because if I still had that knowledge and then I try to learn new things, like, it's not going to add up. Like, my mindset is going to be conflicted. Like, there'll be a lot of things that are telling me yes, no. When I'm seeing this, the other side is saying yes, the other side is saying no. So I don't want that. What do I have to do? I have to free up my mind. I need to unlearn some certain things, unlearn things that I see are not needed, unlearn things that I see are not going to help me, and then focus on learning that one thing that I have already learned that's giving me a bit of results, but focus a bit more on learning more of that thing, you understand? So I put more room into it. If something is, you can, like, when you're testing out things, you try out 5 different types of things, then you see what works. If 2 out of 5 works, you don't care about the 3 that doesn't work. You have to focus on that 2 that actually works, and stop the 3 that's working, that's not working. You stop it completely, you focus on the 2 that works, and then you go harder. So instead of investing all your energy in that 3 that still doesn't work, that energy is being invested in the 2 that actually works. So that way you can progress faster. So that's one thing that you should do. You need to unlearn certain things and then learn these things that are already working for you, but they just need like refinement, and that needs like solid attention, and like you being there, showing up on a daily basis. That's the second one. Let's move over to the third one, guys. The third and last one is personal growth and mindset hacks. So what is it that I mean when I say mindset hacks and personal growth? Obviously, like, I'm being able to trade means that you are one that would love to be your own boss. Being able to trade means that you are one that would love to be able to make money anywhere, anytime, and all those things. But that doesn't mean that, like, that's not manageable. That's a business. It's a business model, which means that you need to be able to manage it. You need to be able to know how you're going to trade, what you're going to be looking for, what you'll be looking into, when you're going to trade, where you're going to sit and trade. Are you going to use your phone? Are you going to, like, all those things actually playing a part in you trading, and even things such as, like, backup stuff, like, if your phone goes off while you're holding a trade, what actually happens, and all those things. But I'll go a bit more too deep with that when I'm speaking about the ultimate transformation program that we have going on, which you can get the link in the description box. Only $7, you can be a part of it. Né? But let me just speak about personal development and mindset hacks. You need to be able to know what actually is your goal. What is your ultimate, like, what is it that you're trying to look into when you are seeing the markets? Like, when you are placing trades on a daily basis, what are you trying to achieve? Do you want to make money? Do you want to understand how the pips move? Do you want to capitalize? How do you benefit from a right analysis? Né? How do you benefit from a right analysis? Meaning that, do you benefit by capturing pips? Do you benefit by capturing dollars, rands, or whatever currency you'll be using? Do you benefit by having your analysis be correct? How do you benefit by capturing or seeing that, like, you are really progressing in the markets? So you need to have something that actually measures your progress, that measures you being in the markets. It's either pips, money, or analysis, or good at saying the things that you know, or like in a specific, like, you just play around with something that you know is going to help you be able to see the results that you're already getting. That's how you measure your progress. That's how you measure your success when it comes to the markets. Then now moving over to mindset hacks and personal development. Obviously, for such things to happen, you need to know yourself. You need to know what things what actually influences you positively, negatively, which we start speaking about personal development. That means that you need to start reading books of trading. You need to start looking into things that are related to trading, even if it's just like, a stock. Like I remember when I would watch movies of, I'd watch movies of stockbrokers. I'd just read articles of stockbrokers. I'd like follow these people just to see what actually is going on in their lives, not even just career wise, but to see how they balance everything. That is personal development. That is you developing yourself to become at a level whereby you are one that actually acquires and accumulates all those things that you believe are yours, or all those things that you deserve. Obviously, I also feel like you deserve that. That's why I'm talking to you now. That's why. But yeah, speaking about it, also mindset hacks, being able to convince your mind into doing things that you don't want to do, in order for those things to become habits. In order for you to become habits, you need to do certain things that you are firstly uncomfortable with for a period of time, and then it will automatically become a part of you. So that is mindset hacks. You need to know how to work with your conscious mindset. You need to know how to deal with your subconscious mindset. You need to, there's a lot of things that you need to play around with. You need to know how to affirm those positive moves. You need to know how to, like clear your mind up, just so you can be able to react in a certain way towards the market, so it doesn't change your perspective, no matter the outcome of a trade, no matter what someone said about you trading or about how you trade and all those things. So those are things that you need to now go on to a journey into understanding, because one thing that I love about trading is that you will get to develop as a trader. You will get to grow as a person. The more trades you take, the better you become, and obviously the more trades for you to take like longer, you have to be able to stay longer in the game, which is things such as like your risks and all those things, on which you speak about that in the Ultimate Transformation Program. But I'll leave it for now. And those are the 3 tips that I think you guys deserve to have, or not even deserve to have, but to move forward with, because not most people share it the way that I do share it. Not most people would give it to you the way that I have experienced. I would want you to go like 1, 2, 3, but I'm sharing with this information with you because I feel like all that 4 years that I spent trying to figure this out, you can just with one video go out there, develop your own plan, and then start seeing results as soon as you start putting in the work. But I'm glad that you actually did watch this video up until this very end. Remember that the Ultimate Transformation Program is actually made for you to be able to understand the whole concept of the markets, see yourself in the markets, and start seeing yourself make results within the markets, obviously via transformation. That's how you're gonna see those results, via you transforming and becoming into a person that you wanna be. But I'll see you guys on the next video. It's a boy Somutupi. I'm glad that you did watch. Make sure that you comment below, tell me what it is that you think about this. Also share with friends and family, like, subscribe, do all those things, guys. See you on the next video.